But I was working all the time then too. Because I remember the day we picked out the windows. Oh gosh. You know, I was trying to work during the day and then come home at night and try to find the kids. Well, Sybil spent a lot of time at Gladys's, and you were pretty much here. You weren't over there too much, but you had your friends in the neighborhood. I got home at 5 o'clock. We closed at 5, so it was about 5:30.
You see, my Aunt Gladys, Dad's sister, lived across the street. They were frowned on Mom working. That was the days that women didn't go outside the home yet. And if she wouldn't have done that, we never would have had this house. Yeah. And Dad would always raise hell with her because she saved her money, and he would.
He'd say, I have to buy the groceries.
Yeah, you don't. You know,
and you're saving the money, and I'd say,
she would kick in for the living expenses.
That's for a house.
She saved her money. Yeah.
But he inherited a couple $1,000, and I inherited $200 from my dad when he died. Dad was on, what do you call it, help for the elderly then. He got $40 a month, but he lived at Minnie's a lot, and then Lillian's up north, and Uncle John came, and so...
Well, did anybody ever live with you and Charles? I mean, so like you lived with, you know, Charles's dad for a while, and you know...
And then we moved in that house, and then we moved in that little house by Schoenberg's. There was a little one-story house. From there...
So the logical people to live with them would have been Sybil and I. And we didn't ever do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so even, wait a minute, even before you were born, we lived in that little story house. So it was a one-room house. And then we moved there. That's when you were born. Mm-hmm. That's right. I forgot about that little house. Gee, I forgot about a lot of it. But there weren't too many happy memories, so I'm glad to forget them.
So what did you drive? Did you just have, like, did Charles just have his work truck, or did you both?
We just had the pickup.
Okay.
And how did we ever get another car? I don't know.
The first car you had was the 41 Plymouth, but you didn't get that till early 50s.
Was that the one we bought from these sisters over here?
Yeah. And it was, they just had it in their garage. They stored it for a lot of years.
That's right.
It wasn't used.
But it was always a pickup.
Car. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, when did you start working in Albert Lea?
I quit Penny's in '67 here, and then we went on a trip.
You worked at the bank then, People's Bank.
Oh yeah, that's right. I went to the bank, and I worked there about a year. I didn't like it. It
was financial, and it was a lot of. See, she's pretty much self-taught, or other people trained her from.
Well, there was one gal that worked there. Everybody hated her, and she would just made it miserable for somebody. And I was about 40 years old, going through a change of life or whatever you'd call it, and I was a nervous wreck. We get along with her okay, but nobody got along with her. So one day, Charles says, "This is it." He went to the bank and he talked to Glenn Uglin, told him I was having trouble, and maybe we should think about it. And Glenn said, whatever she wants to do, it's fine with me. So then we told him, and I quit. And then I was home for a while, but I still had connection with Penny's on Saturday night, I think. And then I worked for Ole Insrud at the floor.
Ole Bratrud.
Ole Bratrud. And that was less than a year, but that was just to keep the place going. He sold linoleum. Carpeting. That's how we got carpeting. And that wasn't a good job. It was just to sit while they were out working. So then...
And then, she...
There was an opening in Albert Lea.
And she had... she was tied in with Penny. She was Penny's had a retirement program or a savings program.
I drew my money.
She was into that. So she was a bona fide former employee, so she got a chance at that job.
I think it was over $5,000.
She had saved money in the Penco, which was like an annuity or like something. And so she had to work so many more years at Penny's to get her money out.
So then I went to work over there. And I liked it.
I think so.
I liked it fine, but here's the funny part of it. Gas started going up, and I was driving back and forth. And when it was bad weather, snowstorms, I stayed over with friends maybe, or Charles would come and get me. Well, he had to leave his work to come and get me with the pickup, or he'd have to take me to work. So that was a bad deal. He was missing up. So anyway, gas went to 35 cents a gallon. And Charles came home one day and he says, that's it. He says, we can't make it. He says, the wages you're earning, and at 35 cents a gallon, we're not going to come out. So I had to quit. I went in and talked to the boss, and it's okay. I had worked there off and on 5, 6, 7 years maybe. And then finally at last it was part-time, and I liked it real well. And gee, I made a lot of new friends. But 35 cents an hour for gas, and of course we had an old car.
Mm-hmm. So were you a cashier?
Yeah, I worked at a cashier. I was cashier and bookkeeper, both here. Went over there, and I started out as cashier and bookkeeper both over there. And sometimes when they were real busy up downstairs, there was 20-some registers, and I had to get those checked out when I was cashier to balance with one deposit so that somebody could go to the bank over there. Well, there was 2 of us.
Tell them the story of John Sunday and you getting caught by the auditor when he came through.
Well, that's working here.
Yeah.
The auditor.
She was the bookkeeper, and her boss.
I had the keys to the store. I could open it, I could close it, and I was kind of running this store.
Her boss was in the Chamber of Commerce and stuff.
He was on the go.
He was never around, didn't take care of business, so Mom was running the store. But then the auditors come from the headquarters.
Yeah, we never knew when they came. They checked everything.
Your boss was he shifting money around?
He had gone to the Holiday House.
Okay, but he was shifting money around. He was doing something you knew wasn't right. And you covered for him, and the auditor said you kind of did something to you.
I can't remember.
You put some money in your purse. You put some tags in your purse or something to cover for your boss. I heard about it later.
Yeah, I probably did.
And I don't know if you got in some trouble.
Oh, you're never supposed to have money in the office. Cash money laying up there. That was it. And there was cash money in his drawers. And that's what I...
So you took it out and put it in your purse, and the auditor saw you do it or something.
Got out of that somehow. But then John Sunday was up at the Holiday House, and I somehow or other got the number of the Holiday House. I called up there, and I got him on the telephone. And I said, the auditors are here, and it doesn't look very good. He says, I'll be right home. And then he came home, and so I was done. He took over, and he talked himself out of it, so everything turned out. He was a talker. He was always on the street, on one side of the street, the other street, talking to all the guys. He was a good guy. He never took care of business. I always said that he never should have gotten that check that he got every month. But he was good to me, and, I never got fired. But I finally quit, because I thought I could get in the bank. Well, then I didn't like that. So then I got in Penny's over there, because I had a connection with Penny's, and that worked fine until the gas price went up.